10 hours, Alex. Within 10 hours, I think it went viral. And I think Will Smith called him probably after 5 hours.
There you are. And what you're doing out there is pretty gosh darn exciting as well, what you're filming out there. I'll let you tell me what you're filming out there at the moment rather than I've read all about it because I'm fascinated by it as a concept. But what is it?
Yeah, I'm filming a series called Bel-Air. For those of you that are listening, it's a remake of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but it's a drama. So we're not having the audacity to try and do the comedy again. I don't think you can. The comedy still stands up now, but this is a reimagining of the comedy, hour-long drama. EP is Will Smith, Quincy Jones, all the original people from the original show. And I'm playing Jeffrey. I'm playing a man like Jeffrey. And I'm so happy about it because it's an iconic show that we've all grown up with. It's a show you say this name anywhere in the world, Alex, and people are like, oh yeah, I know that show. And it's exciting to do a retelling of it. So we're all able to own these iconic characters that we know and we've grown up with. And because we're able to sort of go deeper with an hour, you're able to flesh out all the themes a bit more. And also in terms of Jeffrey, we're going to be able to get to know more about him because the setup in the comedy, he had some really good sort of one-liners, but you didn't really know much about him. He had a couple of episodes when he thought he had won the lottery and he told them what he thought of them. But in terms of this dramatic version, I think you're going to get to know all our favorite characters even more.
Because it's a comedy drama, isn't it? It's certainly not a sitcom. I know that, but it's still there are jokes in it. It's not just a pure dramatic retelling, or is it?
No, it's a pure dramatic retelling. It's a pure dramatic retelling, Alex. Yeah, my analogy, Alex, is like I'm a big fan of Only Fools and Horses, right?
Yeah.
So if you take the comedy out of that, you've still got working class boys, from Southeast London trying to do well. You know what I mean? And trying to sell stuff, and if you take the comedy out, there's still a lot of hardcore themes. They're missing their mother, having to look after the granddad. If you just sort of, I call it flip it a bit, you could do a Only Fools and Horses a drama. And I suppose there are going to be light moments in the show, but yeah, it's a full on dramatic version. I suppose the song, right? He has a fight on the basketball court, and then he gets sent to Philadelphia, and that's all light. But if you have a fight with someone that literally might be someone on the streets that might have a gun, like you really have to get to Bel-Air because you're fearing for your life. And I think just not to give too much away, even if you started from that point, it changes everything. And also we're in a different time now, right, Alex? In terms of social media, where we are politically, but also, 20, 30 years on, a lot still hasn't changed, in terms of, racial profiling and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a really exciting show. And I think we're going to be able to please those people that know the original, but also those people that are coming to it for the first time.
And it's a kind of fairy tale story, isn't it? How this came to be in the first place. So there's a guy, Morgan Cooper, who puts it. I think it's a trailer or a short film, a kind of an idea splurge, let's call it, a video that he puts up on YouTube of this concept, and then it catches the attention of Will Smith. Yeah,
I know. Listen, the space that you work, what it's like to have people watching your content and, for it to be shared and, you build up your following. But for this director to, Alex, I think it would spend like 20 to 30 grand to do this trailer. There was no guarantee anyone would see it. You know what I mean? We've all put things on YouTube, but it's like, I've got 20 followers. Oh, that's my mum, my cousin, that's my mate, And to put this out there, it was amazing because when I saw it towards the end of 2019, and it looked so good, Alex, that I thought it was the trailer for the actual show. I was a bit peed off, really. I was like, no, they've shot it already. not worth even contacting my agent. Like, they've cast it already. And then when I heard that, basically, I believe in doers, and he's a doer. He did this trailer almost as a calling card as a director, because he's done short films, he's done a lot of commercials and stuff like that. But actually, for him, it was a win-win. You know, I'm showing, like, I'm expressing myself as an artist, and I believe, and I think it's great. If anything happens, great. If not, then this is something I can use to go and speak to production companies or networks. And then I think it was in 10 hours, Alex. Within 10 hours, I think it went viral. And I think Will Smith called him probably after 5 hours. The rumor is, and that might not be true, but I know, like, somehow he's got the call, and it's like, who's this? He's like, hey, it's Will. And then the rest is history. He's very talented.
I think you hit the nail on the head, though, because from everything I've heard about it, it's uncynical in the way he went about it. It wasn't that thing, because I think you could look at it on paper and go, oh man, I wish I'd had that really clever idea to get the attention of Will Smith, to pitch an idea on YouTube. But I think, like you say, he made it because he wanted to make it. He wanted to show off what he could do. And sure, he had this idea, but it was without cynicism. Yeah,
no, you're so right. You're right. And, you know, come on, sometimes you can't play those games with yourself. You're like, oh, I'm going to do this. I don't really want anything to, but when anything to happen, but when you really are in that place of like, look, this is just what I'm doing, you know, then I think great things happen. And within this job, there's so many beautiful connections. And, you know, even me playing Jeffrey, you know, when people find out I'm in the show, they're like, oh, who are you playing? I'm like, really? But I get it. There's a lot of Brits playing Americans. But for me, it's such an honor to play Jeffrey. Joseph Marcel, who played the original, you know, I've worked with him before. And
oh, shit.
Yeah. So even that little connection to say, like, look, we've worked together, and now I'm playing this iconic role that you created. And you know, mine's going to be a bit different, but I'm really proud of that. And it's so nice to see people's faces when they're like, oh my God, you're playing Jeffrey. And I just feel like it's an exciting time to be part of a show that the way it started, it reminds me of Ryan Coogler who created Creed, right? Mm-hmm. He was a young man that used to watch Rocky with his grandma, you know, and Rocky's an amazing movie. But he went and repitched it to Sylvester Stallone, kept chasing them down, going, look, this is the new Rocky. Stallone was like, what? Well, obviously, like, that was like the Great White Hope story, great. But if you look at history of heavyweights, we haven't got a Rocky with a black boxer yet. And it's just crazy, you know? And then I think it took a while, but then Sylvester was like, of course. And now we've got this whole new retelling of Rocky, but it's called Creed. And it's still connected. You've still got the original characters. And I think that's when I get excited about sort of things being redone. You know, it's the way in. When there's a blatant, like, oh, we're just going to do Dirty Rotten Scoundrels again, I'm like, oh, that's a classic. You shouldn't really touch that.
Hello, Alex here. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to get in touch with us at all, for any reason, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at JTFpod. And don't forget to subscribe to the full audio podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your pods.